start with a short introduction, and then when we have more people, I can always repeat the introduction.
Perfect. Thank you.
So Canada has a very special and good policy for families. When a parent has a study permit and is full-time registered student in any colleges or universities, then their children, no matter how many, will receive the free education as long as they are full-time registered. And in the future, when parent graduate, applied for PGWP, their children would still be able to receive the free education. So this is very good. That's why we have more and more mature students coming with their family. Another good benefit, I'm sure Claudia and the intern, they knew already, is a spouse open work permit. So while you are studying full-time, your spouse can apply to open work permit and your children may enjoy free education. So the cost might seem a lot as an international student's tuition fees by exchanging to your own currency, right? But actually you receive a lot of privilege from Canadian government. So this is good. There are two intakes for the Thames Valley School Board for the public school for elementary students or high school students. One is September, another is February. Okay. Although we have Christmas as a winter break, usually it is 2 weeks for the students, and then they go back to school to continue with the last semester, the September semester, and then finish by January. They will receive report card or grades, and then they start the other semesters until June, end of June. Summer, it's 2 months, July and August. So if you come in the middle of a term based on your visa approval time, London welcomes international students. I know many schools from Toronto area, they could be full. You have to wait until next semester to start. But if you come in October, I'm sure London School Board will accommodate you and your children. Yeah. So if you have any questions, please bring forward by either hands up asking or text in chat. Okay, you count?
Okay, good afternoon.
Sorry, can you please speak louder?
Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me now? Hello?
I cannot hear you.
Yes, I'm also not able to hear you. Can you check your mic? Or if you want, you can type out your question
now?
in the chat.
Yeah, better.
Can you hear me? Okay. My name is Yetunde. I'm from Nigeria, but you can call me Yeti in short. Okay. So my question is, I have twin boys. So I'll be coming with them. So I'm for May 1st section. So I'll be coming with them. However, I don't know if with your explanation now that there's going to be like a summer section, July, August. Will they allow them in when they come in May? That's number one. Number two, what are the requirements for me to come along with for them to be able to get admitted into school?
Okay. So you are May starting date student, right?
Yes, please.
You've got visa approval already?
Yes, please.
Okay. You already applied for your children's visa or study permit?
Yes, please.
Wonderful, wonderful. You prepare very well. Are you coming with your 3 boys and your husband or just by yourself?
So I'll be coming with my family.
Okay, with your spouse, right?
Yes, please. Yes.
And he has applied and received an open work permit.
Yes, please. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Very good. Very good plan. Okay. So because you're coming in May, and as I said, this term will finish by June.
Okay.
So even if the school admit your boys, there won't be a lot of time left.
Hmm.
You can check, but it's not guaranteed.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
you can check. We don't need a lot of proof from you, just your study permit and their legal status in Canada. And because you're here, so you're their like parents are here. They don't need other guarantor or custodian. Okay.
Okay. So, okay. But here in Nigeria, the school calendar, the school grades, they're in grade 6 presently. So they're supposed to go to grade 7. They are 11 years old, both of them. They're 11 years old.
Yeah.
So when they come, like what class will they be? Are they going to go like the class backwards, or they'll be in the normal class they are supposed to be with their peers?
Yeah, no matter, it based on age, because they're so young, they will easily catch up. I'm sure they're brilliant
Yes.
children. So it depends on the age. And in Canada, we calculate the elementary school admission age is by the year, not from September to August, but from the natural calendar year, from January to December. So which year, for example, which year, just one example of your children, which year was he born?
Okay, so they are both 2012. They are twins.
Okay,
Both of them
twins.
are
Okay,
twins.
2012.
2012. So they'll be 11 in March.
They'll be 11 in March,
Yes.
and 2012. They will be called 12 years old. It is 11th year, right? This year, 11th year. So they will be going to, Crystal, help me to do the math. Which grade?
I think they will be in 6th grade because my son is 10 and he is in 5th grade, and it will be 11 also in March. So I think.
Okay. Thank you so
he will
much,
be in
Claudia.
5th grade.
Yeah, it's by the natural calendar year from January to December. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
They were born in 2012,
2012.
2012.
so they will be in 6th grade next year.
Okay.
In May,
Okay.
it's the last month for 5th year.
Okay. Which grade are they now in Nigeria?
Come again.
This right now.
Okay, they're in grade 6 right now in Nigeria.
See, yeah, that's a different admission year, right?
Yeah.
So when they come here, they will be in grade 6 again, right, Claudia?
Sorry, sorry.
So starting from this September, they will be going into grade 6, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's my experience. So I
Yeah.
think he's the same. She's
Yeah.
the same.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
It's good for them to adjust and to settle. Yeah, it's good,
Yes.
especially for boys.
Thank you. So how do we get them registered? What is the process of getting a school for them?
It depends on where you live. That's another good question, and it's good for anybody else. We divide schools by district, by area, okay? Unless you're in high school, then you might be able to apply outside of your area based on the children's grades.
Okay.
But usually you go to the school close by.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. And London is a very good area for education.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. If
No
I have
problem.
other questions, I would raise my hand again.
Yeah, I'm reading Claudia's question here.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I just want to compliment, if you allow me, to the lady from Nigeria. I think it's good that she's coming in May because from my experience, I supposed to be here last May because it was online. So I moved my travel to July. And it was very hard for me to find the situation about the school because it was middle of the summer. I didn't know that, but I think that the lady from Nigeria will have the opportunity to get a school before the schools finish in June, and it will be allowed her to organize herself when she starts the schools again in September. However, I would recommend to the Nigeria girl that having twins in London and you are studying, I think you need to look for summer camp or different options because you are not allowed to leave your kids by themselves at home. But at
not
the
yet.
same time, you are going to school, and I suppose your husband is going to get a job. So it will be a little bit complicated to organize yourself because you have two kids that cannot be by themselves, new in London, even though I don't know if you have the house. So my experience, it was a little bit hard because I came 9th of July last year.
Yeah.
It was like crazy, even though I was online. So
Okay.
I will recommend that. And I think it's also important for Crystal to understand what is the international situation for students that are coming in that period. Right now, I am settled. I am trying to organize myself. And basically, I have two questions. One is, I would like to have a better understanding of what are my options for my son that is almost 11 in March, and he's in 5th grade, but I am still having classes in the afternoon. So I have classes until 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And sometimes I don't know what to do with him. Sometimes he has to spend time by himself at home. He already did the course Home Alone. I know there are some options at the libraries, but I would like to know with the schools, what are the options? Because the school he is attending, they don't have after school. So do I need to search another school for after school, or do I need to search the family? I was trying to do something online, but I couldn't really get the information. That's one of my questions.
Okay.
And the other one is, how can I get some support to guide me on my son's relationship with friends? He's doing very good with grades. I already got the first report and the second report. I mean, the first one was informal. The second is the really official first report. And he's doing great with the marks. But I think he's not making friends easily. So I'm worried because he's spending a lot of time by himself at home. He's not having friends easily. So what are the alternatives in this case? That's basically my main concern.
For sure. And that's actually the worry of all new immigrants too. So Claudia, thank you very much for your information. And which country are you from, Claudia?
We're having two nationalities. I always like to mention that because my son is Mexican, but I am from Colombia and I am also Mexican. So it's a combination.
Good.
He
South
has been
America.
living all the time in Mexico, but he has a background from Colombia. But
Okay.
he's an observer guy. So he's more like understand the situation before he goes through this. So he has the Latin mood, but he's observer.
Yeah. So you arrived in the mid of July.
Last year, yes.
Wow. And did your program start in September?
No, I was studying at that time. I started in May last year.
Wow. You were taking online study while you are traveling with the family?
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. It was hard, but I am over. I was doing project management.
Good,
So
good.
Finished
good.
project management, and now
Glad.
I am supply chains in the second
Yes.
program.
I'm glad for that and very, very thankful for your advice. As parents, student, the most important thing is not just work and the study, but also the family, right? Especially the beginning part. And here, the children has an age limit to stay home alone. it's 13 years old. So before 13, they can walk by themselves, like after they are 10, they can walk to the school by themselves and walk home by themselves, but they cannot stay home by themselves. The neighbors could call police, and that's a law here. You're exactly right, Claudia. And the schedule, it's very randomly arranged. From post-secondary program, it could start from 8 o'clock in the morning or even earlier, or end by 8 o'clock at night. So even before and after school, it's not enough, right, Claudia?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard. So
Yeah.
I have to hire a nanny sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes my son went to school with me to college. So he's already project manager.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. So each school has its own before school and after school program, which is running by another agent, but it's only probably start 1 hour earlier and 1 or 2 hours later. The school finishes early in the afternoon around 3:30, and then the program may end by 5. So for parents, it's still not enough. And it's costly. The before and after school, it's also competitive seats. You might not get it. Even if you get it, it's quite expensive. So my experience as a parent, okay, I would say hiring someone, because your children are already 11 years old, if they are quite independent, then you don't have to hire a mature person, an adult. No, hire a nanny is good. To pick them up, to stay with a nanny, to cook for them, that's fine. But if they are quite independent, I would say if you can find a student, not really nanny, a student who's older enough to just be with them, that could be cheaper. And then you prepare simple dinner for them, right? From the same school. I mean, here, elementary school is up to grade 8. So some grade 8 students, they are 13 years old. So talk to the parents after you arrive. Joe, talk to the parents, talk to your children's classmates' parents to see if there's any local resources close by to your home, which your children can go to for a couple of hours on certain days, right? So when you get home, you get them from the person's home. That could work. Claudia, what is your other question? The service from LUSO? Is that a question for Irina?
Yes, I think, sorry, I don't know how you have the structure of the conference, but when I spoke to the LUSO at the library, they told me to get in contact with the person from LUSO in the school, because that person will have a better understanding how my son is doing at school and how we can organize something to help him or support him with his relationship. That's my main concern. I know LUSO offers housing, adapting to the country and all that stuff. I haven't been really looking for that option. I don't have too much time free now, but I think my main concern is how to support my son with the LUSO support from school or from the area.
Hi, Claudia. Yes, I'm from LUSO. My name is Irina, and I actually have a presentation prepared right after Jesse's. And I will cover quite a few of that information and answer some of your questions as part of my presentation.
Perfect, thank you. As I do apologize because I have to go. I have class in 10 minutes at Fanshawe. So I already asked Crystal to send me the record of the presentation.
Okay. And you can
I
also, I'm also going to, I can share the slides of my presentation with Crystal, and my contact information is there. So you're welcome to contact me by phone or email, because a lot of the questions that you had, I will be able to answer them and just provide you with more referrals, guidance, and information. So feel free to reach out, and I'm also going to share the slides with Crystal as well.
Okay, thank you. My husband will be here listening to the conference too, so we can support each other, and thank you. I will send an email to Crystal. Thank you.
Do you have Crystal's email, Claudia?
Yes, I do have Crystal's email, and I know Crystal from last year. I think she reminds me or remembers me because we were in contact with the induction from last year online when Fanshawe was still online.
Sure. Brittany, Gina, do you have any questions regarding your family, your children, registration to the school board? Because I have appointments starting from 10, so I'll leave earlier. Do you have any question regarding this?
I just have an extra question, Chen. If I move from my location, I mean to another house or another apartment,
Okay.
and I have to change the school, do I need to go to global again, or do I need just to apply to the new school? Because one of the things that I didn't know when I arrived is I have to go to global first, or global one, I think is the name, before applying to the school. That's a new process, or is it same process?
That's the same process. There is an online tool which you can check which school board you are belonging to if you changed your location of living residence. So you can check that first. If it belongs to another school, then yes, you should change, and you should send an email with your new address to the international office at TVDSB.
Okay, thank you.
It's international. Do you know this email address of Thames Valley School Board International Office? Good.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. international@tvdsb.ca. Yeah. Okay.
So perfect. If that's it for questions for Jessie, we will let you get to your appointment. Thank you for talking to us about this. I think it's really challenging when students are thinking of bringing family over and just not knowing what that might look like as far as registering their children and stuff.
Yes, definitely. Before I go, I want to share one example to you. Osidra did very well planning ahead of time and bringing the whole family plus her husband with legal status, right? Open work permit. But we also have other students. They got study permit and children, but their spouse didn't get the open work permit. And the open work permit was rejected here. So far, the student is quite busy at study, and the spouse couldn't work. So this is a bad situation. And also, don't expect the workings here in Canada will support all the living for the whole family, plus your next program tuition fees, right? It's better to have some savings. Don't have your expectation in one basket. That's what I mean. And also, if you ever planning to take the second program for a 3 years postgraduate work permit, please book an appointment as soon as possible with one of the advisors, so we can chat about the second program and do the application for you. Okay, thank you for having me, Crystal, and great to know you, Irina.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
So Irina, I have gone ahead and made you co-host. So everyone, Irina is here with us, and she's from LUSO. So they are a community support agency, and she's going to share a presentation and talk a bit more about what they offer for students. Thank you, Irina.
Thank you. I don't see share screen. at the bottom. Oh, share screen. Okay, I found it. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so okay. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Irina, and Irina Sompasat, and I'm the Settlement Services Manager with LUSO Community Services. And I oversee the settlement programs for newcomers. So I'm going to talk a little bit more into details about what types of programs we have at LUSO that support immigrants of all immigration categories with their transition to life in Canada and London and with their settlement journey. So we have quite a big of settlement department and programs at LUSO, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about each of them. So we have settlement counseling here at the LUSO office. We are actually not far from Fanshawe at all. Our office is just on the intersection of Highbury and Oxford Street, very close to Fanshawe. So individuals can come to our office they can walk in or they can make an appointment and they can meet with a settlement counselor to receive support for any of their immigration related and settlement matters. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in the next slides. We also have settlement workers in schools. So I'm going to touch a little bit on this later on, just because I heard from Jesse and from some of the previous comments and questions that many of you are coming with families and children and will need support with registering your children into the schools. So I can explain you how our settlement workers in the schools can assist with all of this. We have library settlement program. And those are settlement workers in the libraries, basically. And I will also touch on this in the next slides. And we also have a community connections program. The community connections program is a great way for newcomers, not only adults or youth, but also families, to participate in very fun activities and events as a way to learn about Canadian culture, to meet friends, to develop networks and friendships, and all of them are free of cost. So it's free to participants, to newcomers, and I'm going to give some examples later on about what types of activities those are. So I'm going to start with the settlement workers in schools. LUSO operates in the northeast part of London. So all those schools in northeast London, it's about 30 schools from both school boards. So the Thames Valley District School Board, but also for the London Catholic School Board. Both high school and elementary schools have settlement workers in schools program. What that means is the settlement workers in elementary and secondary schools can assist newcomers of all immigration categories with their settlement needs. So here are some examples. When new families arrive and they go through the registration process and assessment with the board, afterwards, they're referred to a settlement worker in the school who can assist them further with some of their settlement needs. Whether that's orientation to Canadian school system, what does that look like? The parent portal, the cash online, the report cards, some of the expectations on behavior of the schools, the classes, the ESL support, some of the other supports available to newcomer students. All of that can be done and led by a settlement worker in schools. So it's a wonderful support in the schools for families whose children are starting in their new school in Canada. So in addition to all this orientation and support with the schools, the SWIS worker can also help with other things related to settlement. So anything about community engagement and recreation, perhaps, before and after school programs, summer camp opportunities, PD day opportunities, maybe extracurricular activities, recreation, lots of things that the families are interested. The SWIS worker can provide them with information or referral for these programs. I can explain you how to register and how to access these programs. In addition, we also offer support or referrals and information on employment, on various government services, whether that's applying for an OHIP card, driver's license, Canada Child Benefit, the housing benefit, finding a family doctor or other health-related things, access to housing, finding affordable housing, understanding the Landlord and Tenant Act and matters and rights and responsibilities around transportation, and many, many other things related to the settlement. So the SWIS worker can provide support and information to newcomer families with all these things, and they are in the schools, our SWIS staff. So as I said, LUSO operates in Northeast London. So we have SWIS workers in the schools in Northeast London. But if you are living in a different area of London, so perhaps you're moving to maybe the west part of the south part of London, there are SWIS clusters, so there are SWIS agencies and SWIS staff in all the schools in London, regardless of which part of London you live in. So for example, South London Neighbourhood Resource Centre is another agency who provides settlement services, but also SWIS in the south and west part of the city, as well as CCLC also provides SWIS support in more of the central part of the city. So regardless of which area of London you live in, you can access SWIS support in your children's school. And the school can provide with information about who is the SWIS worker and how to connect with them. In terms of client eligibility, so there is no restrictions to immigration status. Absolutely everyone can receive and is eligible for SWIS support, whether that's a refugee claimant, whether you're a permanent resident, whether you're a refugee, whether that's government assisted or privately sponsored, international students, of course, temporary residents, visitors, work permit holders, Canadian citizens. So regardless of the immigration status, as long as the children are enrolled in the school, they can, the parents and the students can receive settlement workers in school support. So I'll touch a little bit on the library settlement partnership. So as I mentioned earlier, we have also settlement workers, so settlement program in the libraries. So this is a partnership between settlement agencies such as LUSO and IRCC, which is Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, and of course the London Public Library. So there are a few libraries in London that offer the LSP or the Library Settlement Program. So LUSO offers LSP services at 3 library branches. All of them are in Northeast London, so Beacock, Stony Creek, and Masonville. And all the services are, of course, free of charge, and newcomers can walk into the library or connect with the LSP staff by phone to ask a question or to receive information and direction and support. So here are some examples of what types of services the LSP staff can provide. So any type of information about resources, about government services, about benefits and other programs in the community. Many times newcomers, whether that's youth or adults and families, they seek support or information for volunteer opportunities or employment opportunities, right? So the staff can direct them with places where they can go and volunteer, or places that accept volunteers. They can help them with the application process, or they can refer them to employment agencies in London. They can support them with finding jobs. And of course, LSP staff, as well as the SWIS staff, can provide information on recreation opportunities. So we talked a little bit earlier about summer camp or a March break camp or PD day, winter programming and activities. So all those activities, many of them actually, there is a fee for that. So you would have to pay, but keep in mind that the registration starts early. So for example, for summer camp, if any of you are looking at enrolling your children into summer camp, registration has already started, and it starts very early, around February or March. So I do suggest and advise that if you will be needing summer camp to reach out, and we can help you with applying for some of those programs. There are lots of fun variety of summer camp opportunities in London at a different cost, and of course you can find what best suits your needs and your children's interest, and LUSO can help you with all those applications. There is a subsidy available through Ontario Works, so Ontario Works can cover some of that cost if parents have lower income, or if they meet all the eligibility criteria. Now that does depend on immigration status, so we can definitely look into that and help you with receiving that information and letting you know if you're eligible for childcare subsidies. So by all means, you can reach out to us and we can provide you with support. And of course, access to healthcare, finding family doctors, OKIP cards, finances, banking. Many of the banks offer free banking for many newcomers. So that's something that not every newcomer is aware of. So we can help with all of that. Post-secondary education programs, ESL classes and programs, for adults. For youth, of course, they get ESL support from the schools, but for adults, we are able to direct them to places that offer ESL classes, assist with the language assessment process and all those referrals as needed. Finding affordable housing, information and referrals to basic needs programs, transportation. One of the major trends for LSP is assistance with filling out forms. So if you have a form that needs to be filled out, application form or a document, we are happy to help you with that. So you can always come into the library and the staff can guide you and assist you with filling out different types of forms. And information assistance with immigration applications. So whether you're preparing to apply for a citizenship application or to renew your permanent resident card or your travel document, the LSP staff can provide assistance with all of that. And so in addition to those types of one-on-one services, we also provide group information sessions. So those are workshops or just group classes where newcomers can attend. There is no limit or restrictions on the immigration status. So by all means, anyone, regardless of the immigration status, can attend. And basically, they would receive information about a certain topic. And it's also a good way to meet other people in the group, to network, to develop new partnerships, new friendships. So it's a wonderful way to learn more and to connect with others. So here are some examples. Now, for example, with the tax season, we do a group information sessions about filing taxes. What do you need to know to file your taxes in Canada? What documentation you need, places where you can go, tax clinics, etc. Citizenship information sessions. So if anyone is preparing to apply for citizenship, they can attend our citizenship information sessions and learn more about the citizenship process and about the citizenship test, which is a mandatory step in the process. So individuals who apply for citizenship, they have to take a citizenship test. So these classes, these sessions will help individuals to prepare for that. English language conversation circles, review of the citizenship application process, how to prepare for the citizenship test, back to school, so some resources to help parents to prepare for a new school year, sessions on housing, ESL programs, employment in Canada, financial literacy, and many, many other topics can also be delivered based on the client needs and interests. So, of course, the outcome of all these settlement programs is to help newcomers have a greater understanding of the Canadian education system, to have a sense of belonging, to be able to be engaged in their community, to increase level of confidence, so to be able to navigate all the systems in Canada and in London on their own and independently, to know where to go and who to reach out to in future when they have questions or they need to access services. And of course, to have broadened social networks. So through these group information sessions, through the community connections activities, people can meet other people, right? Many newcomers like yourselves who can become your friends, right? Or your professional even network. So you will definitely have just a broadened social network in your new community, in your new city. I did touch a little bit earlier about the Community Connections Program. So the Community Connections Program, there is limitation to immigration status in terms of eligibility. So in order to qualify or to be eligible for the Community Connections Programs, individuals have to be permanent residents or protected persons. Unfortunately, they are funded by IRCC, so it is specifically for these immigration categories. And what it is, there are lots of activities and even field trips when families or individuals can attend. So we have cooking classes, we have done yoga for youth or for adults, women wellness. We have done field trips to hockey games, to some of the pumpkin patches, for example, in the fall. That's very popular. We've been to watch a play in the theater. So many, many fun things where, as I said, individuals can enjoy and learn more about London and their new city, but also meet other people. And all of those are free of charge. There is no cost. So by all means, you're welcome to reach out to LUSO and we can provide you with more information about all those programs and services. And just lastly, so in addition to the settlement programs and LUSO, we also have other programs in our organization that can also maybe you can benefit from. So one of our other programs at LUSO is Basic Needs and Food Bank. Many of families and individuals and newcomers benefit from this program, of course, if they qualify, so they can access food boxes from the London Food Bank or access other basic needs. So for example, winter clothing, winter boots, snow pants for their children and for themselves. All of that is free and is meant to help individuals of lower income with the high cost of living and making sure they meet their essential and basic needs. We also have literacy programs. So this might be fun for some of you if you have younger children. They are free of charge. There's lots of fun activities and programs that can help families, but also younger children to develop their literacy skills, whether that's their English language and reading or their math skills. So many fun programs that are held in the community. And again, they're free and we're happy to share the events and the calendar and the dates if anyone is interested. We also have youth and volunteer programs. So for youth ages 11 to 19, regardless of the immigration categories, there are lots of fun activities that are taking place that are free of charge. So similar to what I mentioned to Community Connections, there is yoga, for example, there is field trips, hockey game, ice skating, bowling that they have done. And they're very fun and an opportunity for the youth to connect and meet new friends. And of course, for those high school students, for example, or even older individuals, for adults, if they're interested in the volunteering opportunities, we also can help them with that. We actually have volunteering opportunities at LUSO. So anyone who is interested can sign up and receive more information. And we also have a family center programs. The Family Center Argyle, which is in the Northeast area, is led by LUSO, and it's free of charge. There is no cost, and it's a wonderful programming for younger children and their parents. They can go play, they can go and explore, lots of fun activities. So all of that can be shared as well if anyone is interested. And that's all I had for today. I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has follow-up or would like to connect with me for further information. I'm happy to do so. My contact information is just right here on this slide. So you're welcome to reach out to me by email or phone. And I'm happy to provide you with some more information, but I'm happy to answer any questions now if anybody would like more information. I think I see one hand up. Yetunde?
Okay, good afternoon, Irene.
Hi.
Right? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
But I don't know if that's just on my end.
Okay.
I think it's better now.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, so thank you for the package on the LUSO community service. So number one of my question is the housing, though we've been, I don't know if, I just want to understand what you mean by housing. Do you help newcomers to help them get housing, like accommodation?
So we don't have an actual housing to where individuals can stay. We don't have a building, for example, or shelter or anything like that. LUSO does not offer that, but what we can do is we can help newcomers to find housing. So basically we'll help them search in the preferred area, in the preferred budget that they have. We can help with the search process. We can help with filling out the application paperwork, with advocating for them, making sure they're making an informed decision, they understand the process. So we can provide referrals to other maybe housing programs in London, whether that's London subsidized housing or other agencies that have housing available, whether that's shelters or some funding. So we can support families with all of that, but we don't have housing in LUSO. LUSO doesn't offer that, but we assist with the process.
Okay. Okay. So if I need your assistance with the process, I will just have to send you an email. Am I right?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can contact myself directly. I'm the settlement manager, or you can call the LUSO office, whatever it's easier for you. Yeah, you can do either one, and we can take it from there. We will connect with you, and then we'll set up a plan to assist you.
Thank you. At least for now, the accommodation, then other things we can now look into it once we are settled.
Of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Was there any other questions? You're welcome to place them in the chat, or if you wanted to unmute yourself and ask the questions directly. Well, if there's no more questions, then we'll give Irina back about 10 minutes of her day, and same with you guys. I just want to say thank you again for joining us. It's great. Even I'm learning some new things that I didn't realize that LUSO looked after. So it's really helpful. I hope for the students coming to know that there is resources.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining. And tomorrow will be the last of the 3 sessions. So we will be talking with London Public Library about their settlement assistance, as well as more care. So thank you guys. And thank you, Irina.
No problem. Have a good day.
You too.